Oh, Kylo Ren's fine. Not the devastating effects you'd expect after being stuck on a planet that's about to blow up in your face. Wow, that wound really healed up. Not the devastating effects you would expect after having your face cut open by a lightsaber.
Just a cut.
And oh look, Finn is fine too. Not the devastating effects you would expect after having your back split open by a lightsaber. Oh wow, Captain Phasma is fine. Not the devastating effects you'd expect after being thrown down a trash compactor. Oh look, he's wearing dark clothing. Oh look, she's wearing dark clothing. Oh look, she's wearing dark clothing. Oh look, he's wearing dark clothing. He's wearing a yellow bathrobe. Welcome. I am the Moonshine King, and welcome to a reaction video. I'm going to react to Star Wars The Last Jedi trailer, which was released yesterday. Or was it today? I cannot remember. My memory fails me. Now, before I watch it, I want to talk about a few things. Somebody had asked the director of this movie, Rian Johnson, whether we should avoid this trailer, as Rian previously said that we should avoid everything until The Last Jedi comes out. Now he responded, I am legitimately torn. If you want to come in clean, absolutely avoid it. Now, that is easier said than done, Ryan. Don't you know? He also said, FWIW, whatever that means. I love that there are folks who want to come into a movie clean. I think that's awesome. Me, I'm a weak man. I watch all the trailers. Now, as I was saying, it's not as simple as that. I'm on YouTube a lot. Everywhere there's going to be thumbnails with captions that just are gonna ruin the whole thing for us. Right? Can't avoid it. On Facebook, just scrolling around. Oh, oops. Plot spoiled. Image spoiled. Reddit? Oh no. Ruined. Casually on Twitter. Oops. Uh-oh. Ruined. Scrolling down Instagram. Oh no. Spoilers. Watching television. Oops. Commercial break. Guess what? Trailer. Oh no. Watching your favorite YouTuber. Darn it. The Last Jedi trailer is an ad. Especially with our meme and clickbaity culture, there just is no escape if you're exposed to media, and especially if you're on the internet. So that doesn't really leave us much choice now, does it? I've actually been actively trying to avoid imagery from The Last Jedi over the last few months maybe. But then you get these photos thrown at you. You get this image thrown at you. You get this shoved in your face. Merchandise. Oh, new designs. You see, this and this and this and this catapulted at you. How can you escape? How can you escape? Now, I do not remember seeing anywhere near this much imagery before The Force Awakens. Only the trailers and that behind the scenes reel. I never saw Han Solo before the trailer. I never saw Leia before the trailer. I never saw any new things really before the movie. Really not a whole lot, but maybe they just didn't have anything to show in that movie, if you know what I mean. Now, if I had it my way, I wouldn't go in seeing any of this imagery we've already been exposed to, but I'd rather watch the trailer of my own accord, rather than have the inevitable exposure anyway, and have it ruined without experiencing it myself in full. Now, for that reason, I'm going to watch it now. But maybe I'm making a deal out of nothing here. It might not even be that interesting. Let's find out. But before I do, I'll just add that I am actually quite anxious for this trailer. In particular because I'm afraid that they won't do Luke any justice. After The Force Awakens and the way he was treated there, I really hope they redeem his character and they do good by his character this time. Hopefully they can make up for that dismal portrayal, or lack of, in the last movie. What was he doing on this island? Why didn't he take responsibility for Ben Solo? Why was he hiding away while the First Order were causing countless deaths in travesty? Why didn't he foresee the destruction that would be caused, or that his old friend Han would be in mortal danger? He went running to save his friends in The Empire Strikes Back because he knew they were in danger, even against the orders of Obi-Wan and Yoda. So now he just couldn't be asked? His premonitions just weren't working? What? It is ironic how he said it's time for the Jedi to end, yet he's been sat around all this time doing the same as Obi-Wan and Yoda, and didn't come to the help of his friends. Wow, he's been sat around just like Yoda and Obi-Wan, just like they didn't want him to go saving his friends in Empire. Wow, what a sudden change. However, the only consolation in my mind to deal with this is if this is the change, if this is what he means by the Jedi ending, that set mentality of not seeking violence unless you have to, not seeking revenge. Perhaps the reason he hid away on an island was because he was so distraught, so angry, so devastated by what had happened, that he believed that if he went after Kylo Ren, the results would be devastating. He would unleash his fury and his hatred, and this would lead to him going to the dark side. This, I think, is the only reasoning that would be a somewhat satisfying explanation as to why he let Kylo get away, why he abandoned his friends and the galaxy, which is so unlike the Luke from the original trilogy, very unlike his portrayal in the past. And remember, Kylo is his blood relative. He never intended to kill Vader. He never even wanted to fight his own father. Yet he believed he could be turned back to the light. Although perhaps Vader never did as much damage to Luke as Kylo had, which he probably saw the results of firsthand, dead bodies and all that. So maybe he was scared of how close he came to evil in Return of the Jedi, which was triggered by Vader threatening Leia. And in this movie, maybe he realizes that the time of inaction has ended. Maybe he's full of regret for not doing anything all this time, as he should be, and it's about time he did something to help. He beat Vader using the dark side and his anger and hatred. Now he would do the same, which is of course not the Jedi way. And maybe we'll see him doing some badass things in this movie. Things that the old Jedi would not have approved of. And maybe that's all he means about this. Kinda like in an Ahsoka way, if you've seen Rebels, when someone says to her, revenge is not the Jedi way, and what does she say? I am no Jedi. So I think this might be just a similar thing going on here.
Then I will avenge his death.
Revenge is not the Jedi way.
I am no Jedi.
Alright. I'll watch it now. 3, 2, 1.
When I found you, I saw raw, untamed power.
Another voiceover,
Beyond that,
like the last one.
something truly special.
Nice. I can see why they changed the lightsaber to green in Jedi. It does clash with the style.
Inside me has always been there,
So he does think.
but now it's awake,
Yep.
and I need help.
Why is he so sharp?
I've seen this raw strength only once before.
When was that?
Enough then. It does now.
Right. Why would she be more powerful?
Kill it
Alright, that's interesting.
if you have to.
We'll see him in one of these.
That's the only way to become what you're meant to be.
Uh-huh. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please. Okay, we don't need that little thing, do we?
The fire will hold the First Order down.
Yes, please. Cool. Nice.
Not going to go.
What a thing.
Fulfill.
Nice.
Destiny.
Wow.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
No. 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 Well, okay. So that is Todd is suggesting that she's going to seek help from Kylo Ren. Now that is interesting because I have heard theories going around before about her actually turning to the dark side. Now that does seem to fit in with this, but I'm not a fan, honestly. I don't want it to go that way. I don't want it to end that way. It looks like Kylo's gonna blow up our Leia, and of course I don't want that to happen, but it looks like it's probably going to happen, considering Leia is not going to be in the next movie as far as I'm aware, in any sense, and it probably makes sense to kill her off now. And if they're implying that she's going to die this way, then, it's highly likely she is going to die this way, and this will be her final appearance. Of course, Carrie Fisher filmed all of her scenes for this movie before she passed. However, it was rewritten. I'm aware that the movie was rewritten, and that's why it was pushed back due to her death. So we can't expect her to die in this. However, I am worried about Luke, and I do want him to be a righteous character, as he has been. I do want him to be used well. I don't want him to be, just exploited to get fans in their seats like last time. I'm very worried about his death, actually, more than Leia's, because he is the main figure in all this. He is the last Jedi, and it's very important what happens to him. His story is very crucial to the saga, and I want it done justice. I don't want him to be killed off in a silly sacrifice way, because usually 9 times out of 10, if not 10, sacrifices are not done well in movies. And they're pretty cheap, and they're pretty predictable also. And I don't want that to be the ending of Luke. I would rather he just died of old age like Yoda, honestly. But surely they can figure a way out to use him effectively. I mean, he says he has to die. No one, And I hope he does play a key part in this, and he's not just in it like Yoda was in Empire. I hope he does have some nice scenes, some nice action scenes as well. I really hope Kylo doesn't kill him, because that just wouldn't make any sense to me. And if Snoke is the one to kill him, again, I'm still not a fan. This guy coming out of nowhere and then just killing our biggest character from the original trilogy. It doesn't just have to be predictable like that. The Master just dying, but just because people expect it. Who's to say he won't survive this trilogy? We don't have Han Solo anymore, and we don't have Leia. It would be very nice to have Luke still. So I hope to see him do amazing, and I hope to see him blow us all away. And I would not like to see, by the end of his trilogy, I hope he survives this movie. At the very least, I hope he survives this movie. And I hope he has a fitting ending. Something that isn't predictable, and something that isn't just, oh, now I have to die because I'm the mentor. By the end of 9, although it doesn't look like he's being a very good mentor in this, which is interesting. He seems very afraid of Rey's power, and he says he's seen it once before, but he's afraid of it now. So it's likely he's referring to Kylo, even though Kylo wasn't that powerful, was he? Unless he's referring to Snoke or Vader, but I don't know about that. It's likely to be Kylo or Snoke. I'm gonna watch it again, alright? Now this beginning bit, when I think it's clearly Snoke talking, and he says, "When I found you, I saw raw, untamed power." It's on Kylo Ren, and we assume it's about Kylo Ren, but it could be referring to Rey. I mean, we do see her in the next shot igniting her lightsaber, but that's a possibility. So Luke seems very apprehensive and quite scared about, I'm assuming, Rey's powers. And of course we don't know why she has the strength that she does. I mean, that was obviously a big criticism of Force Awakens by some people. She seemed like a Mary Sue character. So maybe this is a way of addressing that by making out like she has some extra ability, some extra strength that other Force users don't have. So it seems like they're trying to, trying to fix that criticism. But who is she? Is she the the daughter of Luke? Is she related to Snoke? I just assumed from Force Awakens that she was Luke's daughter, to be honest. I thought that was clearly the impression they were giving, considering the lightsaber called to her, the lightsaber which was Luke's, and which was Luke's father's, and now passing it down to the daughter. That's what I thought it was implying. But, everyone else has been having their own theories about who she is. Maybe she's in a Kenobi. Maybe Luke's referring to Obi-Wan, but I don't remember him doing much other than turning into a Force ghost, so people are going to be talking about that probably. But when he says this, it goes to a shot of him escaping some rubble, which I'm guessing is the place where the Jedi Academy was. And it's interesting that he was actually there. So does that mean he was there when Kylo was killing his students? Because if he was, that is not great, honestly, because he should have been able to stop him if he was there. Again, something that doesn't quite ring true. Kylo is not that powerful, so, that was proven in Force Awakens. He just isn't, So, this is kind of baffling, because I just thought maybe he just wasn't at the Jedi Academy whilst this was going on, which would make more sense, because, Kylo shouldn't be any match for Luke. He just shouldn't be. So if he was there, then, it's baffling. But maybe he wasn't right there at that moment. Maybe it just exploded when he came back, so we'll be interested to see that. Kylo saying, "Let the past die," and still whacking things, it seems. Not sure why, though. Is he still conflicted? No, I'm not sure what Kylo is referring to here when he says, "Kill it." That's the way to become what you were meant to be. But during that little sequence, I like the style of it. It looks quite cool, actually, and his spacecraft, or his ship. However, I get the feeling it's going to be a lot like Vader in Rebels, where he's just flying around, indestructible, invincible, unbeatable, bringing down the entire, Rebel Armada all by himself.
We're tracking one target. No other ships have entered the system.
Heading right for us.
Enemy fighters making for the command ship.
How can one fighter best our entire squadron?
That's what I get the feeling that scene's gonna be like. If he's going up against General Leia, that is likely she's gonna have the best defenses. She's gonna have the best ships in the Resistance. So the fact that he even has a chance to blow her up suggests that they're doing a Vader, aren't they? They're making him super powerful, that no one can stop him, and he's gonna be this expert pilot like Vader was, especially as it's shown in Rebels, which was kind of silly, pretty silly actually. So, and I also have the feeling that maybe this was the pivotal moment that was actually rewritten, because I read somewhere that Force Awakens was Han Solo's movie, The Last Jedi was Luke's movie, and if Leia had lived, Episode 9 would have been her movie. And that would have been interesting, because finally we might have seen some Force abilities from Leia. We might have actually seen her pick up a lightsaber, who knows? Who knows the possibilities? She's probably one of the most powerful Force users in the galaxy at that point, surely. Being the daughter of Vader. Surely more powerful than the grandson. So maybe we would have seen her badass in Episode 9. Maybe we would have seen her do mind-blowing things. Much more better than Rey, maybe. Logically. And I feel that was the moment. I feel like if it was rewritten to make her die in this movie, when she would have otherwise survived, the moment where her ship blows up, where it looks like Kylo's making a decision to blow her up and is in conflict, my guess would be that the original script had Kylo, and it's probably filmed as well since Leia filmed all her shooting, that in the original he actually decided not to blow her up, and in this one they probably just re-roll it so that he does, so that they can have an ending for Leia that makes some kind of sense. So maybe I'm just completely wrong about all this, and maybe he does miss her, and maybe she dies later on some other way. Maybe Snoke ends it, or who knows. This is just all speculation. Now, this little creature that I've seen in merchandise with Chewbacca seems quite out of place to me, and I don't see the reason for it. Of course, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what kind of role this thing is going to play, but just looking at it, the CGI creature, considering how they were boasting about, CGI not being a focal point of this, boasting about how they're using practical effects. Well, to be fair, that was the last movie more. That was JJ. Here Ryan's actually a fan of the prequels. But considering that, it just looks out of place. And it's probably going to be silly, isn't it? Kind of like the evil BB-8, which is just really silly. That's really Disney, isn't it? Just have an equivalent version, but black, and have it bad. And what are they going to do? Fight? Now Snoke looks a lot better in this. I struggled to imagine him before as an actual normal-sized figure. But he actually looks alright. No sign of what he's really capable of, though. Except that I'm sure it's him in this shot with Rey. So I'm guessing he's doing that. Maybe he is in this place where Rey is heading off to. Seems dark enough for a Darksider. Didn't catch any glimpse of a lightsaber duel or anything, which I thought they would show, unless there isn't actually a lightsaber duel in this. But surely we would be kidding ourselves to believe that. I'm actually glad this didn't spoil too much as I thought it would. I mean, we don't really know the plot details, except maybe Kylo kills Leia in her ship while he's in his ship, and that last part with Rey and Kylo. But otherwise, just show some cool imagery and voiceovers. There is the possibility that this last scene with Kylo and Rey aren't actually from the same scene. I mean, we don't see them in the same shot. We see a big fiery burning building behind Kylo, but we don't see such destruction where Rey is, although there does seem to be an orangey haze on her face on one side. But also, she could be talking to Luke, or she could be in the cave. And this all could just be some very clever editing. I mean, that really would be deceiving, wouldn't it? Now, it could also be a forced vision. Maybe she's in that cave, like in Empire Strikes Back, where Luke sees Vader in the cave. Maybe this is a similar thing. I mean, it is odd that they decided to show us this if it was such a pivotal moment, and if it was true to the plot and the story. I mean, this is a major component. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was a forced vision. Nice to see that this character got a lot of attention. I'm sure a lot of people will be disappointed. Speaking of which, I didn't catch General Hux in this trailer. What happened to that guy? He was a lot more important than Phasma in the last movie. Now they don't show even a glimpse of him? Odd. I don't want to see Luke on the back burner in this. I don't want him to be like the Yoda character, just stuck on the island all the time, while Rey goes off and does all the work. I want him to leave that island, and I want him to do great stuff in this. And I want him to survive and be great. Please don't ruin Luke. Please do not ruin Luke. Oh yeah, and it is odd to see Finn walking around with these First Order troopers, and seeing him with that same kind of weapon that was used against him in the last movie to fight with Captain Phasma now. So, I don't know, is he undercover? I mean, how could they not recognize him? Surely someone would recognize him. Oh well, unless they all got blown up, but then where'd they get all these extra armor from? Where did they come from? Tell me, are they just indispensable? Is there an unlimited number of soldiers in their army? And whenever the entire base gets blown up, they just have some more pop up? Tell me. But we knew this would happen, didn't we? We knew that despite what happened in the first movie, they'd just get their armor back again. Unless they show us that they don't actually have much left now. Which would make a lot of sense. But then it wouldn't make sense why the good guys would be losing, would it? So, that's a mess.
I don't know if this is the last trailer or if we're getting another one after this. I would have thought we'd get another one between now and December, but I honestly don't want one. What we have here, I think, is enough.
Now, I could probably talk about this for a long time, but no one watches me anyway, so what would be the point?
But thank you for watching. I am the Munching King. If you liked this video, then like this video and subscribe. Farewell, my Munching. Take care, my Munchings.
Thank you.